get 500.
Expect this. He's actually gonna restrain the multiple same class enjoyers. Like he's gonna put a restraint on sharing the gem. How he's acting is that he's so nervous right now that he doesn't even know what he's saying. Like that's what's going on. He's just like talking some random stuff right now. Just some like random stuff.
The problem is Memo's translations make things sound way worse than they actually are.
You guys like what I'm saying? Oh, wait, look at this speed. Oh, I'm also shaking. When he said he's gonna restrain the gem share system, like
the gems, we have to go back to that because I thought when I was listening to you, he was talking about the people that trade gems with their friends. Was that what it was about, or is it about like one class roster?
You know what? Sometimes this kind of thing happens in Memo's translation. That's why we have invent. You can get 500k killed. 500k. If the guy...
Memo.
You suck donkey dick at translating, man. Like, you suck fat donkey dick. I'm going to fucking bed. It's 4 in the fucking morning. I stayed up for this bullshit. I'm out here fucking having to search the documents, go through like 18 different fucking streams. You suck donkey dick, man. I'm going to bed.
He said it.
Guys, in all of my time of playing this game, that might have been the worst translated live stream of all time. It was the worst thing I've ever watched in all of Lost Ark. I don't know why I stayed up for that. It was so fucking bad that I had to tell him. Be respectful, fuck that. That was the worst thing. It was to even DM me this morning. It was so fucking bad. That was crazy. I don't even know why I stayed up for that. You could have just waited for the notes. Dude, every time there's a Korean live stream in this game, I have to have 5 streams open, chat GPT, like this audio thing. I have to look at Inven and look at live translated notes. I have to look at different chat rooms. It was awful. Yeah, I stayed up for it. I went to bed at 5:30 last night, just straight mad. Can we have a real Korean translate, please? We don't have, guys, none of them got it right. Literally none of them. I had every stream open. It's a hard job. Maybe it's the language. I mean, that's just how it goes, man. That's why I fucking hate playing Korean games. I'm not playing and I don't even know how expensive it would be for them to just translate themselves or just at this point have AI do it or something. There's just no way that it's that hard. You can make fucking Will Smith eat like a fucking cupcake and it looks almost real. But we can't have someone translate something accurately. However, Invent has been doing live translation documents recently. So what they do is they have a post they keep updating and they translate it live in text. Yeah, that time we got a pretty good translation of yesterday, which overall, if you watched it live, it was probably one of the worst live streams ever. It was like, what the fuck is even going on? And then after, if you actually read what was accurately said, it was pretty goddamn good. It was not like fucking S tier, but it was a pretty good stream. It was decent. There was like some decent stuff shared, some decent overall changes. I still think this director fucking sucks. I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like he's just weird. Nobody likes him, and that's just bad, right? He's pretty much just like, yeah, it's just not good. Like, it's the truth, though. Nobody likes him. It's the truth, bro. Nobody likes the guy, right? And so that's just not a good thing. I mean, his job is basically to get shit on by the community, but it doesn't seem like people like him. Yeah, he's got negative riz for sure. I mean, that's part of it as well. I mean, you can't really understand what he's saying, but he doesn't have the riz. And then on top of that, you can kind of just get the sense that people aren't happy in general based on the Korean chat, which, you know, if you're still playing Lost Ark, even in Korea, during these down periods, you're probably a degenerate, which means you're just going to be unhappy, right? You're going to be a hardcore enthusiast player. And, you know, whenever the chat was moving so fast, probably because, you know, they aren't very good at communication either. And that's why the chat moves fast. He kept complaining the entire time the chat was moving too fast. And to be honest with you, that's just because people are just asking a bunch of questions and they should probably do more live streams. I don't think you should do live streams if you have nothing to share. So you probably shouldn't do them. But yeah, I think they don't do a good enough job at communicating stuff. I still think to this day that, you know, the people over there that are in charge of the game just don't understand, I think, what makes a good game. And the problem is, you know, before we get into the actual specifics, the biggest problem is every time they implement something that's positive, it's literally something that everyone's already suggested, right? And then it just takes them so long to be like, you know what? Yeah, let's go do that. It's always like that, right? It's literally that's the game in a nutshell. Like, you can go back all the way, guys, to fucking Guardian Raids, put them at 1. Chaos Dungeons, put them at 1. Revamp Transcendence, revamp Elixirs, adjust Advanced Honing. I mean, fuck, bro, what else is there? Let you re-enter raids, like, after you've done your 3, right? That wasn't a thing. I'm trying to think what else, bro. Cards is another one. Solo raids is a fucking massive one. I mean, for the long, I don't even know if that was an NA exclusive. I almost feel like solo raids were literally an NA exclusive thing. Like, maybe it was coincidental that everyone's bitching about solo raids. Maybe Amazon actually gave them the feedback. And at this point, I'm almost confident that they do actually take the feedback that they get from other regions. I'm not saying that they're like, oh, we're going to do this because the West wants it, but I think they probably hear feedback and they go, oh, that's a good idea, right? And I think they just don't know I think that's the problem. Like, they get the feedback and they just take super long time to make it happen. Right? Like, you know, if you look at elixirs though, right? Or transcendence, what do they do first with elixirs? First, they make it so they do the silver ones. And then what do? They reduce the cost. They let you select the last option and then they revamp it. You look at transcendence, they add a pity system in, or they reduce the pity faster, the cost, and then they revamp it. And it's like, yeah, but people told you the system sucked in the beginning. And so, yeah, I think that of all games I played, Smilegate does make a lot of changes, but they're just very bad at making the right changes right away. You know, everything in this game requires multiple iterations before it's actually good, right? And so, yeah, I think that it was a good live stream. Changes are actually pretty good. If you watch a translation, it was fucking awful. I mean, you know, memes aside, Memo was just so fixated on making the guy look like a fucking clown than actually translating what he was saying to his credit, the guy's credit. That was just the truth, right? Like, if you're just being objective about it, he just wanted to make fun of the guy. Now, granted, maybe he's just frustrated though, right? Like, maybe that's probably the actual, you know, people are shitting on Memo for it, but the reality is everyone watching that live stream was the same way. You know, everyone watching the live stream was kind of just fucking annoyed anyway. You know, I was watching Benji, he was fucking annoyed. Everyone watching it was annoyed, you know? And that's how it always goes. Like, you know, and some of the stuff is his fault too, right? Like, why the fuck is he talking about Esther weapons in the glow? It's like this, and he shows a screen for it. You know, you don't show a screen for like some of the other more important topics, but then you spend a segment talking about Esther weapons, which at the end of the day affects literally nobody watching. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's fine. Like, yeah, you can give the customization there, but that doesn't need a segment. Well, yeah, but like you said, the ones are important, but like it's such a small amount of people. No, I think the stream was good. I mean, Soju, I think the stream was good. I'm just being honest about like the way he could go about making the streams better. All of these games, man, every time I watch these games, I just feel like, dude, it's so easy to probably just say things to make people, I mean, not always, you know, sometimes shit backfires, right? Like, you know, you're like, oh shit, like you have an idea and then you say it and then people just like shit on you for it if they're frustrated. So I think it was a good live stream. I really do. I even reading like people's reactions to it the next morning, I think after people saw what they were talking about, people like, oh, that's pretty fucking good. And so, you know, they have a good opportunity with low on to maybe make some more sweeping changes and put the game in a better spot, which I think is good. I actually think the event raid also is pretty good. I think that's actually a good idea what they decided. Not everything was good. Not everything was good. Like with the honing, right? We'll talk about that as well. But overall, I think it was pretty good. Watch the Memo video. I mean, I think I'm good. Maybe we'll watch it afterwards, but let's read the accurate part of it, and then we'll watch the video, and then I mean, I was angry last night, guys. You're like laughing, but I was sitting there like getting pissed off. All right. So let's look at this if you guys want to get a little chat. The first thing they talked about yesterday was 1640 being too overpowered, which is absolutely true. 1640 is just way too much gold for nothing. You just make too much gold compared to like the difference of what you make at 1640 versus 1680 isn't that much, and there's way too much effort. So they're going to be nerfing the gold rates. Honestly, I know a lot of people would trip on this type of stuff. This is not something that I think would ever be, I don't know, I would never trip on this because the chance that we even get rates like this are pretty fucking low with the bound gold system that we have. So yeah, they're nerfing like Theamine, fucking Echidna. I think this is like Aegir. I think this is Behemoth. I don't know. It doesn't really fucking matter. They're all about the same, but they're nerfing the raid gold, which the inflation's out of control. And they should nerf it. However, we have bound gold, so it works a little bit differently. One thing I realized last night is the reason probably they don't do the bound gold over there is because I think they have a different culture of people selling gold. And I think that's actually a thing that goes on. I think they know that's a thing that goes on. I think a lot of people do sell gold. And I think that people that were the hardcore enthusiast audience that plays the game would probably be upset if they do that, right? However, bound gold doesn't actually, I thought about this last night and it does make a lot of sense. Bound gold doesn't help with inflation as much as a gold nerf. The reason why I would say this is that when you get bound gold, you are then using that gold to hone, right? Which then means your leftover gold gives you the ability to spend in the game, meaning you're not burning an actual circulation of gold. You know what I'm saying? It's not as impactful as just reducing people's gold, but it's like a way to find a nice balance between it. But yeah, gold nerfs over there. Do I think we're going to get them right away? Probably not. Do I think we're eventually going to get them? Yes. I don't know when. Yeah. I think it's fine. Refined, but with that, they paired this. This was probably the biggest W change by far, by a mile. So when it was initially translated, it was just 20% gold, but what they ended up doing is they nerfed advanced honing from 1 to 20 by 50% materials, which is a fuckload. And then they nerfed the cost of gold by 20%. And then they nerfed the cost of transcendence and armor transcendence, weapon and armor transcendence by 30%. This is a fucking monumental change. The reason why this change is massive is it affects players at every range pretty much unless you're done. Now, if you're done, I mean, you're not going to care about this, which is why I think some people in Korea don't really care because you're already done. That's how it always goes. But this helps anybody from 1660 to, this helps people get to 1660. This helps people get to 1680. This helps people get to 1690. This helps literally everybody, right? For us specifically, this helps a lot of people. Right? It's definitely going to be cheaper to do advanced honing on anything, like over anything. It's 50% less mats, 20% less gold. It was already cost effective. Now it's just even more cost effective by a lot, right? So this is going to help everybody. Again, whether you're like trying to catch up a character to 1660. So now getting to 1660 will be way better. Now getting to 1670 will be way better. Getting to 1680 will be way better. Just way better. And then this, I mean, it's still something. At this point, we have a lot of tickets in our version, but it's still pretty good. So yeah, this is really helpful. What's not mentioned in here is the cost to reaching 1620, which is like a big thing, right? Honestly, if my first take on this is number one, I don't think it's the cost more than how long it takes. I don't know if that makes any fucking sense. But like if you don't have the mats, for a new player, it's obviously the cost. But for us, it's the mats. It just takes a lot of time. And I think that is the problem, right? Again, if it took John with an event 3 weeks, I don't think that's terrible, especially if they nerfed the 60. Because for me, what I told John was, hey, I don't think it's bad as a new account with nothing and you're brand new, you got to 1620 in three resets. Don't think it's terrible because that's 1640. The problem is as soon as you would have done that, you then now have to reach 1660, which is fucking insane. But with this, really good. Still, I think the biggest problem, and what I talked to the boys over there at AGS about, was you don't give new people a way to even farm. So they need a way to make income, bro. That is the biggest problem. They need a way to make income. I don't think, and I still stand by this, I do not think making it easier for a new player to get to 1670 solves anything, or 1680. It definitely is nice, so that feels like you're progressing your character, and they should, but it doesn't solve their inability to fund the character. They need more ways to make gold income, right? If you're a new player, you have one character, right? That's not good in terms of income, guys, right? It's 6 times less than what you have, minimum. So that's a big problem, okay? Still, I actually personally believe that it wasn't something that they would always necessarily announce. I've never really seen them do stuff like that. And I don't think it's out of the question. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I know, but I don't think it's out of the question to see the 1620 nerf as well. I have a feeling that's a personal feeling. I don't think it's out of the question at all. I think it's possible for sure that you'll see a 1620 nerf. It'll just come in patch notes. That happens a lot in this game, a lot. Where you'll just straight up fucking see like a nerf and they don't always announce it. It's not the sexiest thing to announce either because it affects literally new people, right? So yeah, I think it's possible that we see a nerf to 1620 for sure. Just make it easier to make more characters, right? You don't start a mode to keep playing a mode if you're forced. I mean, dude, some people prefer to play solo mode, which is another thing that came up. Some people actually prefer to play solo mode. I think a lot of people, you'd be surprised if they had the opportunity to do their main content solo would be insane. I really do. I think this is where they're stupid, right? This is personally what I think they're dumb about, is that the game already allows for a super good environment to do solo fights, right? Like the combat system and the dodging and everything already could easily work with solo fights. And all you'd have to do is just give them a movement speed buff and give them like Procol. You get like a buff. And that would be huge. It could be, I bet you it would be one of their most successful contents by a mile. It wouldn't even be close. And so for me, what I think they're dumb about is they stick to this, oh, like it's a group game. This is the stupidest logic in the world. That makes no sense. Okay, brother, it's the bare minimum. Your 2 Guardian Raids or 2 Chaos Dungeons are the bare minimum, right? But then they change it. So it's like they need to learn. This is what I think they're dumb about, is like they need to learn that when people give them the advice, you go, oh, this is what the game is, and then you change it. Why? Because it's better. It's just fucking better. It's just straight up better. There's no, just design a solo, an end game raid. Just to make one. I bet you would bang hard as fuck. I bet you people would love to do it and make it challenging. So many people would like to do it. It would give you a way bigger reason to like juice your character. You get to play more. And of course it will make them money. What do you mean it won't? You know how many people would love, of course it would. Brother, you could do a leaderboard of clears. You could do so many, if you think the only reason, which makes no sense, that it wouldn't make them money. It makes absolutely no sense. What are we talking about? Some of the most popular shit is solo stuff. You're saying the only reason so they can compare each other to other people? No. But you could add a leaderboard behind it. If you really think that the only reason that they would care is you could add a weekly leaderboard. The fastest clears get it. People would swipe the fucking wazoo out of it to get their character stronger to do it. Of course they would, bro. It has nothing to do with that. It's them being stubborn, dumb, and just sitting there going, oh, it's a group game. What does that even fucking mean? What does that mean? Half the activities in the game aren't group related. And it's not like we're going into the raid holding hands and be like, yo, bro, you're my best friend. We're having the greatest experience of our lifetime right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like this happens. It happens for some statics. But it doesn't happen for, you know, like everyone. Makes no sense. Hear me out. What about a new raw gold limit per account, Stoopzz, but you can't surpass it? Example, you make 100K. We were saying this before. There's an easy way to do that too. Letting people earn gold in other ways and making it so that you could play it in a different way. Of course. We talked about this before. Of course. That would be infinite. Absolutely. Anyway, yeah. Gold nerfs. Is this advanced honing? I don't even know what the fuck this even is. Guardian issues. They're basically nerfing the HP of the Guardian. Yeah, looks like that was it right there. I think this is what. This is not that. This is the Oppa system. This is where you basically trade runs, right? You bring in like a big monster. Someone pays a big monster to carry their raid. And yeah, I actually watched Cody talk about this today. He got kind of mad because they incentivize people to go back to go do old raids. And what he was saying is like, oh, it pissed him off because they're saying, well, you're making endgame players go back to go do old raids, right? Like, for example, Echidna. You get what are they called, guys? You get the shards of destiny. He was saying that, well, no shit, people are going back because you're making them go back to do these things, and it means does he play the game? Honestly, at the time, for me, when I was listening, reading, thinking about this, it's pretty like, I think a more believable scenario is not that they're just dumb on that one. I just think that they fucked up. They're like, oh, well, we have these raids. We don't have a bunch of tier 4 raids. How do we get people to like feel like it's still worth it for them to do these raids or feel like they're getting a benefit from it? You know, we'll give them some destiny stones, right? And then afterwards, the after effect of that is basically just, hey, now people are selling this Oppa system, right? Like that happens a lot, right? It happens a shitload where you basically do something and then there's an after effect of what you're doing. So yeah, I don't think that's the biggest deal. What are you going to do? I think in general, it's pretty fucking common, guys, to have people trade runs in Lost Ark. You know what I mean? I think trading runs in general is a pretty common thing.
I play every game.
I'm gonna have to turn these VAs, guys. I have to turn these off. I'm about to disable Stoopzz coins. You need a cooldown? Yeah, I should have enabled that. I just didn't have time to do it yet. Guys, I don't want to go individually just to disable them all. Like, can we just fucking wait till after?
Give me some milk.
I'm done playing with my nuts. Anyways, the gem thing was the worst by far. This is the thing that Memo fucked up on so bad that, I mean, it just pissed everybody off. I mean, he didn't actually get in this, right? But here he fucked up on bad. To be fair, everyone fucked up on this. This is by far the most interesting change here. He said it hasn't been sorted out yet, but basically what they're trying to do is make it so that the gem, the process of like basically he's just saying gems suck penis, okay? Because A, they're really expensive. B, you need so many of them. C, you can't like transfer them comfortably. You have to re-roll them. And there's different types of gems. And I think what he also said is that some people resort to playing one character. Basically, you have to re-roll them, or people play like 7 gunslingers, right? They spam 7 gunslingers and then they fucking like, you know. Or another problem is that people now, what they do is they trade gems between friends, right? That happens a lot, right? Like they give each other gems and shit, which is just not good, right? That's just not good. Basically, it's like they're too expensive, and then now you're not paying for them, and it's just not good for the game, right? It makes no sense. You shouldn't be like trading and blending items. And the whole point is, it's a fucked up system if people are doing that. How is that not good? That shows you how bad the system is, brother. What do you mean? How is that not good? If people are resorting to literally, because they're so expensive, to literally transfer gems between friends and loan them out, that means the system is bad. Like, what are we saying? Not everyone's rich, but my hawk. That's the problem. If you have to lend out gems to people to play your characters and be able to afford the gems, that means that it's a problem, right? There's no way you guys are arguing about this. Like, some of you are so stupid. Like, it is what it is. This is why you guys smell paint for fucking breakfast. Like, guys, there's no way we're arguing about this. This is the stupidest shit ever. Like, just be like, yeah, makes sense. Pretty bad system. Like, what are we saying? Like, it's just like you just wake up and smell the Sharpie. Like, guys, of course it's bad. It's so expensive. Dude, they're insane. It's not like the cost of 10s or like 12s aren't even like, dude, 10s are just 12s now. I mean, realistically, guys, a level 10 gem is a level 12, right? The price of level 10s haven't really moved at all. They stayed almost the same since the tier 4, right? They haven't even got cheaper. So now it's like, okay, well, like I would get it if the 10s, if level 8s crashed to like, I don't know, guys. If level 8s crashed to like 100K and then level 10s, you know, became like the 600, 700K standard, the tier 4 10s, then you'd be like, yeah, okay, it's just new gems, but they're not. So I guess what the part that was mistranslated is that they're going to try to figure out a way to allow you to, I guess, I don't know. He didn't really explain. I didn't really get a good understanding even when I read this, to allow you to be able to transfer gems between your characters because you don't have to like roll them and do these different things. However, he said that he wants to put restrictions on it because he doesn't want to completely just crash the market, which is what would happen, which I think is bad. I'm pretty sure that would not be good either. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty bad too. But that would mean if it does work, you could then combine your gems that you don't need and at least let you use them. I mean, I watched Saint stream. My brother, I was there live. Yeah. I don't know what why don't they just generate more gems? Generating more gems still doesn't fix the annoyance and the inflexibility of gems. Ark passive lets you freely change your entire character, right? It's actually insane. If you want to play BK or Shura, it's the easiest swap in the universe. What is the one thing that fucking sucks though? It's just the gems. Everything else is so easy. You just change the stats, change the build, boom, you're done. Literally in 5 minutes. Just boom, 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 boom. But then you're like, well, I don't have the gems for it. I got to change them around. I got to roll them. And it's annoying, right? So that's super annoying, right? So the inflexibility, but this exact thing was the same thing that this motherfucker was told when they released the tier 4 system. They literally said, yo, fix tier 4 gems. They said this to him. How do you guys remember this? Wherever all the Koreans are like, yo, you should make it so we can swap our gems around. They literally told him. And they didn't do anything. And then guess what now? A few months later, he's like, you know what, guys? I think gems are kind of annoying. Basically, the director said that regarding the sharing class identities while people playing the roster, those players were a small portion of the player base. However, this insane cost in gems at the current state of Season 3, the rise of single class roster spiked in recent months, which led to the black market activities as gem sharing. Gems being restrictive was not intended design of Season 3, since the introduction of Ark Passive was meant for, you're crazy. I don't know, this can't be real. Because if that's true, then when he was told, yo, these gems make it restrictive. I don't know about that shit. That's what I'm saying, bro. The problem is they do a lot of changes in this game The guy that runs this shit, the team, doesn't understand that they keep implementing what everybody is telling them to do. So didn't just start doing it, because all of the W changes are always the ones that people tell them to do. All of them. Whenever someone's like, yo, go do this, they don't do them. This is just stupid. I don't know if this is the right translation. I don't even know who the fuck wrote this. I don't know. Like, is this the right accurate of what he said? Did he actually say this? I don't know. But if this is true, I mean, they're dumb, right? It just is what it is. Like, it is what it is. It's great that they're doing it. I'm not going to complain about the positive change. And I think it's fantastic and it makes the game way better. But I hate the fact that, again, it's like, bro, you keep implementing things that people are telling you to do. Just start doing it. Yeah. Anyways, just dumb. Would destroying the gem market be bad? I think if they made it roster wide, of course it would be, because a lot of people put their gold into gems. You don't want to completely destroy them. Selling gems, making gems is another source of gold for people. I don't think you want to completely destroy it. I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea what they're going to do. You have to, bro. It's a Korean game. It is what it is, guys. I know a lot of people might be like me and they're like, you know what, low key, I don't care if my investment in the game, my value of my stuff goes down. Personally, I don't give a fuck, right? But maybe there's somebody out there that's straight free to play. They farm for everything they get and they feel like they worked really hard on something. And if you just deplete all of it in a second, they'd be upset. I mean, it's similar to people that would say that if they made it so that you had to buy multiple sets of gems, you'd be upset, right? So yeah, I think you have to be careful about how you do things. So finding a good solution, I think, for people to have more flexibility and allow me to use my gems across other characters without completely tanking everything, I think most people would be okay with that, right? You know, I get you. You say you play 18 hours a day, you don't care. You know, some people do though, right? And so you should have to be careful about that. Some people might be like me and be like, you know, it is what it is. Like, the game's better this way. So, you know, I got the gems because I wanted to get the gems. Yeah, I think it's still a good change, right? I think it's still a fucking good change, guys. I still think this is a really good thing for the game. And yeah, rather than restricting gem trading, like the 3-day limit trade accessories with other characters, make gems reroll free and have it follow roster-wide preset. The thing with this statement is that the director doesn't clarify whether the trade restrictions with other players or characters within a roster. The implication, given the view of the KR gem sharing, seems to be trade with other players, but it feels like that was big on purpose. Just make gem rerolling free going forward. Yeah, I mean, I want them to be across all my characters. That'd be gas. I would love that, you know. Just way better. It would reduce a lot of it and just make the game fucking infinitely better. So this was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. 3 times limit related. It may be resolved, but I think he's basically saying that because of the Oppa system, he was considering making it so that you could only enter 3 raids again, which is the dumbest shit in the universe. I don't know what this guy is like. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life, right? Basically, he's saying, I don't do more than 3. I wouldn't really care if they even fucking did this. But personally, I just think it's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, because, I mean, what do you want people to do? Like, literally be forced to play the game for 5 minutes a week? It's not even busters. It's the dumbest shit I've heard in my life. It has nothing to do with busing at all. You're just dumb. You're basically, I mean, guys, it's about them restricting even more playtime. That's what this is. It has nothing to do with busing. It's about them restricting even more game time, which is the exact opposite of what the game needs. The game needs more freedom to play the game more. This is like some fucking Dungeon Fighter Online shit. This is like some Crystal of Atlan shit, guys. This is like, you can't play, that's stupid. Let me play the game more, right? They need more replayability. So for me, now granted, maybe they announce something at low on, then that's fine. I think that's actually fine, right? I think that's actually fine if they want to do that. Have more other content that's replayable. But if you're not going to add more replayability, this just means that the mentality is like, hey, we're going to be moving in the direction that you play even less, you know? Why would I replay after my 3 gold raids? Only reason to help a friend. It's not about that, guys. It's the principle that you cannot play the game more. It's not about, it's just the direction of the game is that you cannot play the game more. That's bad. That's I would say literally the biggest problem with this game, by far, in my opinion, is how limited you are in playing the game or your main character or whatever. Like, again, you're never going to go do that. But to me, it's like, you better start adding in more content in the game. Like, you better start adding in more things to do in the game, more ways to play your character. Right? Like, it doesn't have to be daily based. It doesn't have to be fucking gold based. It doesn't have to be farm based. but just let you play your character more. You know what I mean? What is the principle for? I mean, I'm literally explaining to you the principle right now. What the fuck am I even yapping about? What the whole point of what I'm talking about is the principle of it. I feel like I just gave you the principle. It's just like, that's the whole point, right? They need to let you play the game more. So yeah, Mythic Plus, Dimensional Trials, whatever they want to do, guys, that's fine. Then you can do this. I don't think this is that big of a deal, but I hope that they're at least thinking about, hey, we're blowing the fuck up out of these raids. You're asking people to super juice their main characters, and you're not giving them a way to flex that character. You're not giving them a way to play. It's like having a fucking Ferrari and then driving around a cul-de-sac. That's literally what it is. That's what you're doing, right? I'm telling you, your desire to fucking log in and juice your character and farm and do your dailies and do all of that gets significantly diminished when you're like, well, I can just do the bare minimum and do my raids, right? Which I get, like, that's your own personal freedom, right? That's your own personal gameplay choice. But that's basically forcing that upon everyone else. How many people do you think try to get away with like the bare minimum? I'm not calling them a rat. I'm just saying, they're like, do I need these books? Do I need these gems? Do I need this weapon? Everybody does, bro. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm not trying. Because there's no reason to. There's no desire to fucking like juice the character, right? And it should be fun-based, right? It should be something that not mandatory. It should be an optional thing. I'm not saying make fucking more difficult raids that that give you gold. Make some other activities in the game. So that way you're like, dude, honestly, bro, I kind of want to, juice up my breaker so I can go push this thing. Dude, that's the thing. Lost Ark players, for a lot of people, this is their first MMO. They have no idea what I'm talking about half the time when I'm talking about content for fun. It's actually crazy. I'm not even trying to crash out, but it's literally the truth. It's like, to them, it's like, wait, like, why don't they just add another extreme mode with more gold? It's like, bro, we're just talking about like things to do competitively for fun, like adding it. Oh, but no one does helmet. Okay, who gives a fuck? Maybe you don't like it, but it could be encouraged for people to go do something so that maybe you log in the game more. It's like, oh, but I like the time off. Totally fine. It should be optional, but there are people that would like to play the game more. I want to play Lost Ark, but I can't right now. I want to play Lost Ark, but I'm just bored right now. I think so much of the game frustration would go away with the reduction of boredom, because the people that still play today are the degenerates. And I think if you reduce the boredom in the lull periods, bro, the bitching would get fucking... The bitching would go down a monumental amount because you'd be less bored. That's what happens, bro. All of this shit happens. Why do you think the doom cycle starts every time this year? It does. Am I wrong? Preload on doom, spring doom happens every time this year. You want to know why? Because every time this year, there's nothing. So you're just bored. You're just like, oh, well, it's like, I guess I'll just go fucking do, you know what I mean? It's every time this year, bro, on purpose. It's not coincidental. What about buses that get abused that con? I'm over the busing memes, dude. It's so annoying. It's stupid, right? Like, it's dumb. I'm over it. It's like, people are just, I've moved on from it at this point. Like, I just don't care anymore. It's like, yeah. Those types of things should never impact actual playability of the game. You're losing. I mean, you lose if you're like, oh, well, you can't have this because of this. Like, what? Yeah. We should have most terrible content so we can prevent busting. Yeah, exactly. It's like, what? What if they make more raids, but they are only solo versions? That's fine. I'm just saying give people more things to do, bro. I think for a lot of people, if you ask them about Lost Ark, it's like, dude, is it any different than Final Fantasy 14 in their formula? It's the same fucking formula. It's like class, raid release, class, raid release, class, raid release. So I want them to design some new shit. Just, like some challenge systems, some 3-man content, fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Make duo content. Just make something that you can go do. Have some leaderboards behind it or something. Have personal best clear times. Make an achievement thing. Create a vendor where you can get some more drip, like the better you do or something. A ranking system. Fucking anything, bro. Like literally anything. And then, yeah, guess what? If it comes out and it's not good, all good. Just iterate on it. To be honest, I don't want more shit to do. I like having yeah, of course, bro. That's totally fine. That's what I said earlier, right? Alifa, if you're happy doing the fucking mobile game, I'm not trying to insult you, but that's what it is. Mobile game login for 2 days. I mean, you can see it in the Steam charts. Every Tuesday, I go into a Twitch chat. Oh my God, Memo, have you seen the Steam charts? Benji, have you seen you want to know why the Steam charts go so fucking low throughout the week? look at it's what, like 18, 19K Wednesday, Thursday. Nobody logs on Saturday through Sunday to Tuesday. There's nothing to do. What are you to do? You might log on for 15 minutes to do your dailies and then log out. There's nothing to do. So for you, you might be like, yeah, bro, I fuck with it. I get to play Monster Hunter Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You know, it's based, right? But for some people, it's like, bro, I want to play more, you know? And I actually already know when I talk to them that they feel the same thing. It's the same, they know. New class comes out, bro, new class comes out. What are you realistically doing that first week? If you're lucky enough to get into some parties, you're literally getting out DPS'd by fucking 1690 juicers or whatever the fuck it is. And then your content's over for the week. It's like, I mean, bro, it literally has to be, if I'm tripping, guys, am I wrong? And when I say this, it's gotta be worse than fucking gacha content, right? I mean, I don't know. Is it like Genshin levels? You do pulls and then you do what? I don't know. I actually don't know. Like, what do you do? What is Genshin have more juice? To be fair, I spent 30 minutes in number AO lobby for support. Click close the game, Stoopzz in and out. Yep. No, Genshin has 0 juice. I mean, fuck, bro. My bad. I guess getting your, you know, doing the fucking Aegir, that insta phase. What is the juice? Somebody explain to me what the main content juice is on when you make a new character. What is the highlight? What is the thing that you're excited to go do the most? I'm just, you know, what is it? Staring at a honing simulator? You know what I'm saying, bro? What is the highlight? You want me to go buy some packages in the shop for $400, or you want me to save for my main character, my main swap for 3 months to then to go do what? You know how fun was Wild? So not really, bro. You know what I had to do, Christoph? You know what I had to do, bro? I literally had to beg like 6 other people to say, hey, we're gonna purposely jail ourselves in a Brel Shaza for 4 hours so we can play the game. I'm not even making this shit up. If you think I'm like, yo, I had to find people for a jail. I literally called it my jail party, where we purposely restarted the raid multiple times. And we ended up not even clearing. You think I'm making this shit up? That's actually what happened. We just sat there for like 3 hours, you know? It's like, take on eye-level people only. But even if I do that, brother, even if I do that, those people want to get the fuck out of there. Nobody wants to say, guys, how long do you want to spend on a Brel Shaza? Be honest. When do you start getting frustrated? On a Brel Shaza hard mode, how long do you want to be in there for? What's like a good number for you? Like, where you're 30 minutes, 1 hour. So you're telling me that I'm going to juice my character, months of hard work. I'm going to open the shop. I'm going to buy out 4 packages. And then I'm going to enter my Brel Shaza. And I have a time limit at most 1 hour for the whole week. That's what I got, guys. Guys, add more content into the game. Start creating new shit, please. Fucking new director god, vertical god. You need to start vertical god needs to become all-encompassing god. Okay? Vertical god needs to become fucking, you know, expand the mind god. He needs to fucking go like lick the toad or some shit and expand, like, you know, Smilegate needs to start looking in. So you log in some Baker raids, bro. That doesn't change it though. Doesn't change it. That's the same thing. Purpose of setting up a jail raid, Baker raid, same diff. Mythic Plus would be so fire. It doesn't have to be that though. You know, at the end of the day, it's not my job to create the idea. How does WoW do this? They have like multiple ranking systems. First of all, the raids take the entire period. Like for most people, you don't clear the raid in a week. You're progging every week, most likely. They have a PvP system that has a leaderboard that people actually engage with, like decent rewards. And then they have a Mythic Plus system where there's a pool of dungeons that rotate every week or so, or is it week? I don't know what the fuck it is now. And then every season they add in like new elements to the dungeons, and then they're timed. And then each time you clear it in the time, you get an extra difficulty. And then there's a leaderboard and you get loot from it and you get shit. Bro, it's fire as shit. How hard is that to do? Every month. You throw out, I mean, you could even reuse assets. Fuck it, bro. Let's do the extreme Vaultin idea. Throw out Vaultin. There's a scaling difficulty. It goes to 1640, 1660, 16, whatever the fuck it is. It can't be that crazy, right? And you just work your way up or some shit, and there's a leaderboard, and then if you like get on the top, what, some drip goo. I don't know. It's not my job to do this, and it's not your job either. You know, it's like, how do they do it? Dude, that's for them to figure out. You're not getting fucking paid by them. You're paying them. You know what I'm saying? It's not your idea to like come up with the idea, guys. Your job is like, yo, this shit's fucking boring. That's what you're supposed to do. And then he's supposed to go, oh shit, they're bored. But then it's like, I actually feel like people are so obsessed with like, you know, yo, where's the honing nerfs? I get it. It is a priority, but I still think, bro, for like actual core players, I want them to make new content, bro. That's my number one thing at this point. Like, I want them to make new shit, or at least let me re-enter the same raid more than once with no rewards, no busing. Okay, before you say that, a bare minimum, bro, the bare fucking minimum. Let me re-enter the raid with no rewards, and nobody can. The raid gives no rewards in general. It's like a separate mode, no rewards. I would do it. RMT, go big with that. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I'll let you explain yourself. I'm down. Fuck it. Let's do it. Would you be okay waiting for half a year for those changes? Would I be okay waiting to re-enter the raid with no rewards? They did a half a year for that? I mean, what are we doing? I remember when I was playing VNS, they added a new system. They had raids and stages. It gets harder every time you, yeah, dude, it'd be fire. Regarding the gem sharing thing, I really think it shouldn't be something that people wouldn't want, because it will make almost everyone's roster. Yeah, I don't think anyone does not want that. I mean, I feel like, Hopo, you've been around my stream for so long. How long have I been talking about them making new content? I feel like that's just the norm in my stream, no? Every low on, I'm like, I want them to make some new shit. I've said this every time. I just want to see some new shit. All right, anyways. Cube dispatch bug. No one cares about this. Balance patch. The goal is to do it frequently, but inevitable that it will be delayed or brought forward depending on the timing. Basically, he's saying that they want to revamp old classes again. So there was a year. This is the ultimate moneymaker right here, by the way. And I think they realized this. This was no, but they did do it. If you remember, bro, the golden era of this game is when every 3 months they were doing a balance patch that would revamp old classes. And every 3 months, everyone would watch the balance patch streams and they would just revamp all of the old classes. They did this shit it was the best time of the game, easily, because what that did was classes that were dog shit all of a sudden became fucking insane, and it shifted up the game a shitload, right? And so this is the ultimate moneymaker. This is how you make the most money, because you just basically make some dog shit class meta and then everyone swaps. If you remember those times, it was like, dude, what was it? It was like Sharpshooter got a revamp, fucking Soulfist got a revamp, AT was strong for a while, Summoner got stronger, Scrapper was way later. Blade was, I don't know. Barrage Artillerist was really good for a while. I mean, they did this all the time, and this is what they need to do. They need to like shift up the meta way more often, and they need to just, I mean, it makes them infinite money, and honestly, it's the easiest way to dupe people into spending money in the game. So this is something, I don't know why they don't do this more often. They should prio this for sure, and just keep shifting up the game. Because you just add in new shit, you change stuff up, and all of a sudden this class goes from being dog poop to fucking insano mode. And so, yeah, balance patches I think are super important in this game. It's free content. It literally is content. Balance patches aren't just like, yo, make my class better. It's literally content for the game. And so I think in general, this was the best period of the game by far. It was like maybe a year ago, and then every few months we would get revamps, and then people would go crazy. Like, oh my God, did you see the new thing? You know? Yeah, the patches were fun. I mean, it was literally content. When we would get a balance patch, it was like, yo, that's fucking sick. Bro, dude, like when the balance patch would come out, it was like a revamp for a class. Now, the balance patches we get are like fucking, you know, we don't even do tier lists anymore in this game. You know, it's like we barely even do tier lists anymore. It just keeps it way more fresh. And yeah, it's like it's just so easy. It's so easy to, not easy to design, but so easy to make money. You know, new skills, new rotations, deleting stuff, adding stuff, shifting up the game. It's way more fun, you know? If your class is in the bottom, you know all of a sudden you're gonna go to the top. Now we just get 3% damage changes. I mean, I don't know. Like the craziest the excitement I have right now is that BK Breaker is gonna get buffed by 5%. No tier list because we have the meter now. No, but like it doesn't change. You know what I mean? The balance of the game doesn't really change. It used to change a lot, bro. CO Summoner of 5 people play that class. I mean, it's probably, let's be fucking honest. I mean, they could, but yeah, they definitely need to just make it so that like they need to make it so that fucking the game just shifts and you get super stoked about it, right? And so I don't know. This is like big news. When they're gonna do it, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, what classes need help right now? Reaper. What just feels fucking old? I mean, dude, a lot of classes feel old. They need rare drops on raids. That, yeah, I'll get to that. That's literally a fact. That's one of the things. They need rare drops on raids for sure. Control Glavier. Striker. I mean, Striker had a little bit of revamp recently. Shadow Hunter. I think it was outdated. I'll tell you right now, guys, that's kind of true. But then I was playing Maple, and some classes are just fucking. I mean, you could delete half of them. I don't know. The more classes you have, the harder it is to do. But I would say Lost Ark does a decent job at like bringing classes up. I know we bitch about it, but like it's decent. It's not the worst. But I'm just talking about from a fun perspective, like just making the game more fun. It's nice to know that if your class is dog shit, there could be a balance patch that could make it go to the moon. You know, it's fun. It's just a little, we're talking about fun. And this is content. It just is. I know it sounds dumb, but it literally fucking is. It made me want to make classes, bro. I got super excited about it. Whenever like the balance patch was, I'm like, yo, what? I've always been a Deadeye main. You know what I mean? That happened to me a lot. Yeah, we have mounts and shit, but we need, what Droke is saying is like in Maple, there's like an item that drops that you're like, holy fuck. But it makes you like, I got this necklace last night on Maple. That's like a 1 in 100 or something necklace. And like when it came out, like, holy shit, did you just get that? And it's fire, right? It's like, oh shit, that's sick. It'd be nice if they incorporated some of that, right? It'd be nice if there was some of that shit. Like, you know, you get some fat loot, you know? It just makes the game addicting, right? Ain't that, I mean, it's better. I mean, I got the pitch belt too, motherfucker. What you want to say about that? Do you have a pitch belt, Droke, or no? I mean, you probably do. You'd be fucking grinding the shit out of like you're 290, bro. I mean, I don't know. You probably got some fucking scoliosis like me playing that shit every day. But it is what it is. Related to the increase, I guess he's talking about fucking the next raid. This is gonna be cinema to watch. This will be. I think he's talking about fucking Kazeros raid. That's gonna be cinema. I don't know. I think it'll be really fun to watch. I'm excited to watch it. And yeah, it should be a couple of months. It should be a few months of exciting shit in Lost Ark, actually. With Loa on, there's a strike raid next week. Loa on, balance patches, female paladin. It'll be pretty good. It'll be pretty good. So I'm happy about them doing this. I'm not going to like, it's a whale war, but you know, I like the Wambly anyways. So sidereals, first of all, sidereals are not even worth how little. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Sidereals are too low of a fucking drop chance for what they are, if that makes sense. Like, if you got a sidereal weapon and you could vendor it for fucking 2 million gold, then yeah, I get it being a fucking negative 0.01% drop rate, right? But like, it's 600K. I mean, you can get an accessory that's worth more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, sidereal stones are fucking stupid. It's like, because it's a market-based thing, it's such a low drop rate that like, yeah, I get it. It's 300K. I mean, if you're on EU, what is it in NA? I don't know what it is. 600K. It's not like, it's not going to change my fucking life. I'm buying 2 level 8 gems. Poggers in the chat. Like, it's not like, I'm not saying it's nothing, but it's like 1 week's worth of raids for some people. It's not like I hit the fucking lotto, right? And so that could be better. PC room event. Nobody cares about this. It's like, he basically was talking about how people were complaining that they had to spend 100 hours at a PC bong to get rewards. And so he said, we'll give you 10 weeks instead of 8. That's a lot of time, right? So now you have to go to a PC bong for 10 hours a week to get like a pet that you guys get for drops or fucking for free. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of crazy is what it is, but that's a big ohm. Okay, here's the new Guardian change. They're going to nerf the health of the Guardian. The Guardian doesn't give you any buffs apparently, but they're going to nerf the hell of it so you kill it faster. Honestly, I want a Guardian that just doesn't fucking insta-phase. Like, I don't really like Skalakia, but I just want to like practice my rotation as it is. So, I mean, this is good. I'm pretty sure it probably takes too long, so no one spend too much time on Guardian raid anyways, but whatever. Okay, single mode. He was talking about the success of single raid. You know, this just doubles down on what I was talking about earlier, guys. This is literally what I was talking about earlier. Solo raids. Yeah, solo raids. They said the game was a group game. There's no reason for solo raids. And then now they're finding that people are sticking with the game and playing it more and staying and continuing to do solo raids. Kind of crazy. And you see it in the comments, right? Like, there's literally comments I see on videos. Someone goes, this game is dog poop, but I'll play it for the solo raids. So why don't you just fucking do more of them? I think it's a necessary system for new adventurers and those limited experience, and I appreciate that you use it a lot. The average survival rate, it means people playing the game, has increased. We will continue to update this feature by refining various aspects, such as the learning difficulty, and using it as a springboard for future growth. So they're going to focus on doing more solo raids. Yeah, I mean, this is just fucking... Why do you sit like L in Death Note? I mean, I feel like they should just do an end game raid solo raid. I don't know why they don't just do that. They should just do that. That should be a fucking thing. That could be a new piece of content. Make solo raids end game. Like, just do that. I don't know, man. Like, that is a piece that just I want to do solo raids on my main. I I don't want to like go boom and it's instant phases, right? So yeah, solo raids are a big W. I think this is something that came from the West, and this is again like no shit, bro. People like just instantly hopping into something and playing the game, right? A lot of these Korean MMOs, the problem with this thing is like a lot of these Korean MMOs, you hop in the game and they just make you stare at menus for hours. It's like, bro, I don't want to, new people don't want to stare at menus. They want to play the game, you know? It's like people are way too min-max. Go do this, go grab this, go look at this, go hone this, go tap this. Bro, the last Express event for me as a veteran player was the most stressful Express event I've ever done. I didn't even enjoy the experience. I actually would say that I did not have fun on Wild Soul launch. And the reason why that is all I was doing was just fucking navigating menus, honing this, fucking transcending this, elixiring this, tapping this, going through it was just like, bro, like I want to go play my character, you know? So yeah, solo modes, make them better, increase the difficulty too, make it an option, and update them faster. Fucking make it like update. Dude, honestly, is it that crazy? Maybe they start releasing these things as the raid comes out. I don't think so. Is it that crazy that they start releasing them as the raid comes out? What's the problem with that? What's the problem of adding in a solo mode difficulty when the raid comes out? Then you can practice it, get better, get comfortable. No, why? Give me a reason why. Oh, you're saying no, it's not too much? The group game shit is dumb. I'm over it. You know what I mean? The group game shit is dumb. Like it's a group game. It's like, what? Bro, it would instantly, dude, you would get so many people to play. You wouldn't lose people, you would gain people. You would make more money. You would get more people to play. People just want the ability to just go in and play. That's not an MMO. They're like, what do you mean it's not an MMO? Bro, more and more MMOs add in solo shit. I've never played a game. The game's not an MMO. The game, what are you saying? So an MMO, to make an MMO, to clarify this, by the way, boys, to clarify, Mr. Man, we're saying the deciding factor whether a game is an MMO or not is that it only has group raids. If it has a solo player raid, it is no longer if the option to enter a raid solo no longer an MMO. Guys, what are we saying? An option to enter a raid solo makes it no longer an MMO. Guys, if we're worried about the game being an MMO, add some more world feel, add some more world content, add some more casual content. Like, you know what I mean? Add some more inclusivity, right? Work on professions more. Come on, guys. If that is the deciding factor that makes it an MMO, I mean, guys, come on now. I'm not saying, I get what you're trying to say, but like we're only adding in an option. And if you're keeping it as a practice mode, if it's a practice mode, you know, some people like to play in groups. And they would continue to do so, right? I'm not saying Monster Hunter is a great example, but if you look at Monster Hunter, right, and you actually look at it, some people, they farm in groups. Some people go out and then they do their shit on their own because they like it. Even if they keep solo raids to one behind the current, it'd be a massive W. Of course, bro. Card related. They're going to add in new ways to get lower cards. Nobody cares. New hair. Yeah, new hair, guys. At least it's free in this game. Oh, they're going to see, he was talking about maybe he would add in an option to make it so that when you sign up for the room, he was talking about adding an option where the people that sign up, they like check that it's going to be forced skip cutscene, you know? I think this is great news, you know, cool option. He also said they're going to try to do something to make it so you can tell if somebody is more powerful or character specs because they don't like the idea that you're using the third-party sites. Honestly, guys, if I'm keeping it real, they need to add in a combat power score system in the game. I know that sounds crazy, but the way that tier 4 is, it's pretty bad. You're going to say better gatekeeping. It is what it fucking is, guys. People already look at your shit. It's not like it's going to change anything. It's bad. The damage difference between people is just fucking awful. It's just so bad. The tier, I don't know. Maybe it'll balance itself out over time. Hopefully it does. But yeah, this is a Korean thing anyway. People use like these websites. But yeah, they should just add a combat power score, guys. It is what it fucking is. At this point, it's like people aren't looking. It's just not very good, you know? Why is mileage not provided when purchasing a package? Yeah, people are mad about packages. He actually said during the live stream, guys, I'm not kidding. He said in one of the streams He said, guys, the West doesn't even have mileage. That is what I got from Benji stream. The West doesn't even have mileage. Yep. That's what he said. That's what he said. Guys, the West doesn't even have mileage. Yes, exact words by him. See, guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but I might be the best non-Korean translator out there in the game. Yeah, which is kind of wild. It's right there. In some countries, such as the US, there are no mileage modes at all. Updated. He added in the fact that you can change your Esther glow. What this means, I don't know if people know this. I saw Cody saying this. Why would you ever change your Esther glow to a 25? That's not what this does. What this does is when you change your Esther weapon effect, it changes the glow. Meaning you can choose any glow you want without needing to change the effect. Does that make sense? So I know for a lot of you guys, you know, this is pretty sick news for your customization. And yeah, I know it's fucking big news. This to me was the dumbest shit he brought up on the live stream. I'm going to be honest, guys. Like, I think it was the dumbest thing. There's no reason for him to do this. He's literally speaking directly to 6 people. If he wants them to feel heard, do a private call. I mean, call the investors. No, but I'm serious, right? Do the call the private investors of the game. Because if you're going to, like, what is the point? Like, this literally affects 50 people. Just do a conference call with them. Like a monthly conference call. Hey, guys, how you feel about the game? What do you guys want me to change for you? And then we'll get it done. Right? Because this was like, what bothered me was they showed the infographics. This is what bothered me the most, is that he showed infographics. If he talked about it, sure, but he pulled up a fucking pre-prepared slide. He showed a slide. Out of all of the things you could have showed a slide for, he pulled up a slide to show people, yo, guys, here's our glows. It was the dumbest shit possible. I'm like, what are you fucking doing? All right. Anyways, Field Boss. Field bosses no longer, when they leave the zone, they don't reset HP. They just respawn back to where they were. W change, I mean, that never really happens that often because I don't fucking do field bosses, but it does happen sometimes, occasionally. And back in the day, it happened a lot. So, I mean, cool. Good shit have happened a while ago. It's crazy that this took fucking 4 years. All right. We were missing the golden frog. Another thing that happened during the live stream is they were spamming, where is our golden frog? The West is getting a golden frog. And then his response to that was just laughter. That is what happened, guys. I'm not kidding. That was also something in the stream. The chat was asking him, where is the golden frog? The West is getting a golden frog. And he just kind of giggled and shit. He kind of just giggled and shit, you know? It is what it is. Our frog is a test frog? Probably, to be completely honest with you. He's like, yeah, send him the frog and see what it does. The gems part, we talked about it. I mean, this was a W live stream. He's just a terrible director. I'll just be honest, right? He's bad presenter. Not good at talk. It was a great stream. It was a bunch of good shit in here. Just terrible director. We have a bad director. It is what it is. Like, I actually want Gold Nerf back. I don't know. I'll be real, guys. I don't think it's out of the question. And I know this sounds super crazy. I don't know if it's out of the question that in Korea that they replace this guy at some point. I know this sounds nuts, but if this summer doesn't hit for them, I feel like they might replace him. Because what's the point? Like, he's supposed to hype people up. This summer for them is big, guys. The reason why this summer is fucking big for them, guys, is because A, they have Kazeros raid. Why do you think they put female paladin in the summer? They put female paladin in the summer because they know for a lot of people, Kazeros might be the last hurrah, especially in Korea, right? So they go, okay, what can we put in the summer to make people want to stick around for it? And they put fucking the most desired thing for a lot of people. A fucking blonde, big titty mama with a golden sword. And that's going to be a big thing for a lot of fucking Coomers. You know what I mean? That's what they want, bro. Everyone wants female paladin, right? Like, I mean, there might be like one guy that doesn't really want it, but like most people want that, right? So they put Kazeros, female paladin, banger summer. It's a big one for them, you know. The funny thing is, you guys say that a lot. Where was the chart? Guys, this game prints infinite money for them. This game is never EOSing ever. Even on the West, guys, they released that one package yesterday. It was number 3 on the Steam charts. It is never EOSing, guys. That's just how it works. These games make way too much money for little fucking effort, especially for AGS guys. They poured over a patch, and now they figured it out. All AGS has to do, guys, is just release a monthly package. Show me where's the screenshot, sir? Let me show you. Because I know you want to be perfect doing it, but let me show you. I'm just being fucking transparent. Where is the screenshot? Somebody has it, right? They linked it to me yesterday. I don't know if it was my DMs. Guys, all you have to do is put in, easy one guy, you're just and then you want to sound cool after the fact. Okay? But the reality is that all they have to fucking do is just make a package and then fucking, that's it, right? Like, that's it. Boom, package. And then it shoots up. And what does it cost them to do a package? Literally nothing. It's like, It costs them. I don't even know why Korea doesn't do this. You literally just print mats and boom, it's a game launch, a soft game launch, a temporary 2-day, 3, whatever. Boom, package. So yeah, I think Amazon's figured that out. The packages are good. People are gonna buy them anyway. Infinite money glitch for them. It's just the truth, guys. The game prints way too much money, especially in Korea. They probably make infinite, man. I mean, they probably have people buying these Esther weapons and shit. So it is what it is. But that doesn't mean anything, right? The idea for any company is to grow, right? They want to grow the game. And I bet you anything that they have a bunch, they're riding a bunch on this summer. This summer for them is very important, right? It just is. And I bet you MapleStory is going to come out with some banger update. And they're going to have some fucking live stream that people are going to have some fucking K-pop stars. And in Korea, that's what they compete with. In Korea, that's their competition, right? So they got to try to do something good this summer. 100% season 4 on the summertime. Like realistically, guys, they should do a tier reset. But I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to do, unless if you have to delete everything or something. I don't want to do that again. I'll be honest, guys. If I could go back in time, I would say no tier 4. Straight up, I would. Even though I was so excited about it. And even though I love Ark passive, I would do no tier 4. I don't like the class balance disparity. I just hate the disparity of the game. I don't like the power gap. I just don't like the power gap. It sucks. It's just not fun. I don't like it. It was more fun when everyone was around the same power level. I don't like the big gap anymore. That's what it is for me. That's personally what it is for me. I think the power gap's too large, bro. Now, if you asked me if I could go back in time and make tier 4 a hard reset, I would say absolutely. It's not the reset that I don't like. I just don't like that basically it's like it reset for fun. The power gap reset for fun, right? It didn't make it necessarily easier. If they introduced it with systems that made it better for people to catch up, I was okay with that, but it didn't. And the power gap is fucking massive. You know what I mean? People literally some people do 250 mil, some people do 120 mil. And that's just not fun. So maybe, I was wrong. I didn't see the books and I was wrong. You know what I mean? And if they did a hard reset, sure, but I don't want to do it again. I don't know if I really don't know if I would do it again. If they did another one of these, I don't know if I would do it again. If they did a hard reset, I would do it. But low key, I don't know. They would have to, if they could do it again, but they would have to implement it way differently. You know what I mean? They would have to make it so that it's way easier for people to catch up. And I don't want to do relic books. I don't want new gems. I don't want new shit like that. Dude, Ark passive is the biggest W change in the entire game, especially with the new gem system. If they're going to do this, it's amazing. It's so easy to switch specs. If I want to go to BK, yeah, soft reset's just fucking lame. It's not fun. I'll do a hard one. Or, yeah, of course they wanted money because the reality is that people stopped. The reason why the power gap shrunk is because people stopped juicing. There was nothing to juice on. Of course, they have to make new things. They have to add new progression systems. They have to add new ways to hone. They have to add that. You have to do it. You can't just keep it the same. It doesn't work. So, of course you have to do that. But I don't like the way that they approach this one, It is what it is, What did Snowy said, I mean, they just did it because everyone had infinite. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. What Snowy said is literally the truth. They did it because everyone was done juicing. Everyone was done juicing their characters, and then they had to. I get it, but they could have just, why announce it as tier 4? Tier 4 should have been a reset. Or just don't do it and just add another weapon again. Fuck it, whatever. So, to be honest, the non-Lost Ark player of the season is the most entertaining. It's just fucking annoying for me as a streamer. It's like, it is what it is. What is a hard reset? You just start over. I mean, you just go in there and it's all new gems, all new mats, all new everything. Everyone starts out fresh, pretty much. Like, it's not like you go into the next tier, just fresh, just new game, pretty much, right? And at that point, when they announced that, I think like yes, you would lose people, but you would also just invite infinitely new people. Right? Kazeros about the Endwalker of Loa, and people will finally cash out. I mean, that's why they're doing female paladin, so they're not going to let it, bro. I'm telling you, they won't. But it's a big summer for them, so. Thoughts about gatekeeping and how you will approach it? I think right now, the gatekeeping issue in Lost Ark currently for new players is the best it's ever been. I know you're going to go, what? But it's the truth. All of my friends that are new, that have the Mokoko badge, they have no problem getting in raids. It just is what it is. It's just like, if you have the Mokoko badge, you get into the raids. Now, the problem is they need to implement this for people that are not new. New people have no problem. Veteran players that maybe take their foot off the brake or they decide to, miss raid launch week, for those people, they're the ones that actually suffer the most. And that's what I was telling Henry. He's like, bro, you need to have a system in for those people. It's in perma. Just perma. There's no, some people, like Maple as an example, they log in, they do the event, they dip, but they regularly check out the game. If you do that, you're like, hey, you're going to get punished because you're not going to have the badge anymore. But you still casually play. Yeah, I do my Chaos Engine sometimes. I do my Guardians. Maybe I do 2 raids a week. Why does that person not qualify for the badge? There's just no reason for it. So the badge works. It solves the issue. You need to implement better rewards for higher currency numbers. So you add in a relic book. Then you put the relic book in there. You make it expensive. Like very expensive, right? And you go, well, it's too expensive. It takes too long to get. Then you make the harder raids like Brel give you a fat chunk of tokens, right? That way, all right, I want this relic book. I'm going to try to get a new person into Brel hard mode. Does that make sense? You make the fucking relic book, I don't know, like fucking 2K or some shit. You're like, oh, it's so insane. But then Brel gives you fucking 800 or whatever. It gives you a fat chunk. So then that way, you're like, all right, I'll help you. I need this book. You know what I mean? And it makes it worth it. Maybe you make it 1,000 and then you get 500 points for each Brel clear. Then 2 Brel clears, you get a relic book. And then you reset it. You reset the vendor. Every raid tier, the vendor resets. New people come into the game. They get the help. And then with the Frontier system, it makes it fucking easier, guys. It just makes it straight up easier. Frontier system comes out. The raid's nerfed. You're going to bring a new player in. He's going to do 0 damage. But now you're stronger. The boss is weaker. You get to play your class more. You help the dude out. You get through the raid. Might be a little bit of a struggle, but you can clear it with them dead. And then they get it. And then at least they're getting into the raid. Now you're, well, what about them dying and not really getting a raid experience? Guys, if I bring you to any end game raid for your first time, you're going to fucking die. Why? You don't have the experience. There's no way to get around that. That's not going to change. Oh, you're busting them. That's how it happens in any raid. You bring, I go into WoW. I join a top tier raiding guild. Guess what? That happened. I punch in my chat. I was new in their raiding guild. Guess who was doing not that much damage in the raid? Fucking me. Over time, I got better. But in the beginning, I was doing 0. And they were pumping. Why? Didn't know how to do the shit. I was new. And they knew that. So it is what it is. All right, where are we now? Okay, Field Boss, new raid. This, I think, was probably one of my favorite things. I know it sounds kind of dumb, but for me personally, I'm just telling you, this is one of my favorite things. Shrike raids. Okay, why I like this, I'll explain it. It's a 4-man, 8-man temporary one gate boss encounter that's like they're gonna keep for a few months, but you can either match make it, I believe, match make it, or 8-man, you can do it in a group. And the way that it works is by default, you get 10K gold plus a chest that can contain anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000, meaning that you by default get 20K, but you can also get anywhere up to 110K. For hard mode, this is post-advanced honing, so you're like, what the fuck? For hard mode post-advanced honing, you can get 18K plus a minimum of 10, so 28 min, up to 518,000. And I don't know what the fuck a random UGAC is. I like this a lot. To be honest, this is what Drake was kind of talking about, is the game needs more things that are random in nature, right? They need to have more spice to the... Oh, relic book. That's fucking crazy, right? It needs to have more spice. And apparently everyone gets the same chest. I don't know if this was translated correctly, guys, but apparently everyone gets the same chest. So the whole party, if someone hits big, the whole party hits big. You don't share it. It's just that, let's say, it's not going to be me getting 518K and then you get 28, if that makes sense. If I hit 518K, you also get 518K, right? And I think the game in general just needs more randomness to the stuff, right? Then I want to like go into a raid and just know there's a chance of me. Again, you're gonna say the stones. First of all, they're not that exciting and they're way too low, right? They just need to add in more loot. Needs to be more exciting. It's split. I was told it's not. So I mean, we'll find out. I mean, I went through every different translation stream possible. I read everything. I did my research before showing up to the stream. I slept till 5:30 in the morning. From my understanding, from everyone, it's not. So whether it is or it is not, they need to add in more things like this. I love this idea. I think all raids should be like this, bro. I'm not going to fucking lie. Add in some jackpots. Add in more jackpots. Everything. I want to like have there be more jackpots. Add in a bit more gambage, right? There needs to be more jackpots in Lost Ark. So that way you just feel like, you know, there's oh, this week is, you know, I could get this. You know, a lot of games, there needs to be rare loot, rare items, rare shit, you know? Rare shit is fire. Yes, ideal energies are stupid. They're super low and they pay out like trash, guys. For how low a sidereal energy is, it's too low. Now, if a sidereal was 1.6 milli, but it's not. On EU, it's 300K. It's like fucking, I don't even know what that is. That's like fucking government pay, fucking unemployment payment. Like what, 300K for the fucking, what are we talking about, guys? That shit's crazy. Like what, 300K is that, it's like, it's nothing, boys. Now in the East, all right, but it ain't shit, right? They need to drop the goo-wop and stuff. Games have to have goo-wop, guys. A good game has goo-wop, guys. Excited to see this raid next week. Honestly, the trailer for the raid looked terrible. It did not look exciting at all. It was super underwhelming. It was like this weird demon doggo, and there was like these little Ayas running around that did not even look like a good raid. But for now, I think that it was a nice addition, and I'm excited for this. Falling into Loan, falling into Female Paladin, falling into Mortem, falling into some nice juice. I'm excited. A lot of good changes here. Honestly, it was a W stream. Terrible director. The guy doesn't know how to present stuff. He looks XTD shaky the entire time. And the reason why people spam so much in the chat is because they're pissed off at him, and he needs to realize that. And then they talk about some new collab fucking shit that no one's ever be able to buy. So yeah, it was a great stream. We need a new director though. I think we need a new director. If they don't hit this summer, I don't think that guy stays. He's just not, he just doesn't have the juice. He just doesn't have the juice, right? I don't like, it just is what it is. He doesn't have the juice. And I think Smilegate has been, I put this game for a long time. I've been around, I've watched, at least what I can say is I've talked about this game for a long time. How about that? And I've covered this game for a long time. And I will say that more than ever before, I think Smilegate is just completely too just like, they need to realize that every time they get feedback from people, they always push back on it and then they end up doing it. So at some point they have to be not dumb enough to be like, you know what? Let's just not push back on this because, and the greatest thing about having Gold River back then is Gold River either just said straight up no, like he was very like, I don't know. It was like, he presented it better, or he just did shit. He's like, yeah, sure. Like, he would do that a lot. Like, yeah, we'll add something in temperate. Sure, we'll do it. He used to do that all like, yeah, sure, we can do that. That was that was fire. That was just like, what I loved about the game. If you watch my Respect Your Time video, that's what he would just say, like, we'll add that, no problem, sure. And then now it's like we have this fucking big weenie Hut Jr. I mean, he looks like a weenie. I'm not trying to pick on him at all, but like, it is what it is. Like, I want the guy to come out and just be like, oh shit, it's fucking, you know what I mean? It's the truth though. It's the truth. I want that. There's zero aura, no? Zero aura. He just gets bullied. The chat bullies him. Everyone's shitting on, dude, the entire time everyone's just insulting him. I translated it to English. The chat's insulting him. We're insulting him. Everyone's insulting him. And you have to have some aura. You know what I mean? It's like, it's fucked up to say it, dude. It's the truth though, guys. It's like, we used to have fucking Sun Jin Woo or something. He had massive aura. Everyone loved the guy. Now we got that one like guy that what's the guy that in the fucking anime where his dad like owns the guild or something. He pay to wins all the armor and shit. We have that fucking guy. You know what I mean? We have that weird like Weenie Hut Jr. guy. Like we have no aura. Like we have nothing. We got nothing. And so that sucks. You know, in a video game, you have to have a dev that just hits. I'll be honest, guys. I don't play mushy. That one guy, what did I call him? What was the nickname they call him? Chang Sup. That guy, when he talks, I'll be honest, I have no idea what he's talking about. But when he talks, he's got a little bit of juice behind him. He does. I don't know what it is. I watched a few of his streams like a few times, not recently, just a few, and he does. And then when I read the chat, you know what the chat says? Now that's how you do communication. Now, are they making good changes? Probably not. Does it backfire? Probably. You know, does the game low-key probably suck? Yeah. But people at least like they call him God. You see what I'm saying? We don't have that. Nobody likes this guy anymore. At the beginning, they called him omnidirectional God, right, guys? Everyone called him omnidirectional God. Nobody called him that shit anymore. And they set him up, bro. For the Loan, they gave him like the fucking Tom Chu. You think he had anything to do with that? Fuck no. They were like, all right, guys, let's release the class next week. Gold River's leaving. We need some exciting news. Let's drop a Tom Chu on him next week. A next week class launch. Let's drop all this juice right here. Do a big exciting Loan, right? They set him up. They're like, here you go. Was he good at presenting it? No. He just dips the fuck out. You could tell. He's like, I want to get the fuck out of here. You know? We had the three bozos, domination, expertise, and endurance. We have to have one of the worst director leaderships out there right now, man. At least with Jay and BDO for a while, they were fucking with Jay. I don't know if they are now. They're probably shitting on him because whatever. I don't know. But like, we have to have the worst. 3 bozos, endurance, domination, expertise. It was so awkward. And now we have this new guy. It just fucking sucks, guys. It just, you know, we need a new one. It can't be that much to fucking pay Gold River to come back for a fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin entrance. No, it cannot be that much. How much is that going to cost? Like just pay the man to come back. He doesn't have to do anything. The reality is the game will still be shit. But the truth is it won't feel like shit because Gold River is there.